The station moved in a slow circle around two pale stars. Their light crossed each other like calm rivers in space. Inside the station, many species lived and worked together. The air smelled clean and cold, with a soft hum from the walls. This place was built for peace, learning, and trade. It was also built for emergencies, though no one liked to speak of that. Hana stood in the wide meeting hall with other guests. Her skin carried a soft shine, like stone underwater. She wore a simple robe that showed her rank as an envoy. She had come to speak for her people and to learn about others. At first, everything felt normal. She listened. She nodded. She smiled when it was polite to smile. Then the pain came. It began as a tight feeling deep inside her body, low and sharp. Hana tried to ignore it. Her species valued control and calm. Pain was a private matter. She shifted her weight and took slow breaths. The voices around her faded as the pain grew stronger. It felt like pressure trapped in a place that should be free and flowing. Her vision dimmed. The floor seemed to tilt. A nearby delegate noticed her pause. Another saw her grip the edge of the table. When Hana fell, it was quiet at first, then full of noise. Chairs scraped. Someone called for help. 2 station guards rushed forward and gently lifted her. Hana could not speak. Her body shook, and her breath came fast and shallow. She was moved to the medical wing within minutes. The medical wing was bright and calm, filled with soft light and clean surfaces. Machines hummed and blinked in many colors. Medics from different species gathered around her bed. They spoke in careful tones, each using their own methods and tools. Hana lay still, her eyes closed. Pain waves moved through her, strong and deep. Inside her body, something was wrong. Something was blocked. The medics began their scans. One used a floating lens that read energy flow. Another used a thin field of light that passed through her tissues. They spoke to each other in short, worried phrases. The data did not agree. The pictures did not make sense. "This is not normal," one medic said. "There is pressure building," said another. In a sensitive system, they tried gentle treatments first. Warmth, cooling, energy pulses meant to relax tissue. Nothing worked. The blockage remained hard and tight, causing more pain with each passing minute. Hana's breathing became uneven. A soft sound escaped her throat. Her hands curled. The medics grew tense. They were experts, each of them. Still, this case was strange. Hana's species rarely left their homeworlds. Their bodies were known to react badly to foreign environments. Small changes could cause serious harm. One of the senior medics turned to the station terminal. "Call for additional support," they said. "Any specialist with cross-species experience." A name appeared on the screen. Dr. Day. He was human. The room grew quiet for a moment. Humans were new compared to most spacefaring species. Their technology was not the most advanced. Their ships were solid, not elegant. Their medicine was known to be direct and practical. Some called it crude. Others called it risky. Still, humans had a reputation for one thing. They did not give up. Dr. Day arrived quickly. He was tall, with dark hair tied back in a simple band. His clothes were plain. His face showed no fear, only focus. He washed his hands and stepped close to the bed, careful not to disturb Hana. "What do we know?" he asked. A medic explained the scans and the pain. They pointed to the images floating in the air. Dr. Day listened without interrupting. His eyes moved over the data, slow and steady. He asked for silence. Then he asked for the scans again, but in raw form, without filters. The medics hesitated. "Human tools may not," one began. "I don't need to treat her yet," Dr. Day said calmly. "I need to understand her." He connected his tablet and began to work. The images changed. Color shifted into simple lines and shapes. He stripped away layers until only structure and flow remained. Dr. Day leaned closer. "There," he said softly. The others followed his gaze. Deep within Hana's body was a narrow channel, meant to move fluids safely and smoothly. In the center of it sat a dense mass, hard and bright. "A blockage," he said. "It's formed under stress." One medic frowned. "We saw that. But removing it could cause damage." "Not if you respect the tissue," Dr. Day replied. He explained in simple terms. Hana's body created crystals as part of its normal process. In her home environment, they dissolved naturally. Here, under different gravity and radiation, they had hardened. The blockage pressed against sensitive areas, causing pain and danger. "This is rare," another medic said. "Rare does not mean impossible," Dr. Day said. Time passed. Hana's condition worsened. Her vital signs flickered. Dr. Day asked for help from Mira, a human engineer who worked nearby. She arrived with a calm smile and sharp eyes. Together, they built a basic model of Hana's system using simple shapes and movement. It was not perfect, but it was clear. "We don't need complex tools," Mira said. "We need control." Jisoo, a human nurse, joined them. She adjusted the bed, kept Hana stable, and watched every small change. The room filled with quiet purpose. Still, doubts remained. This could harm her, a senior medic said. So could doing nothing. Dr. Day answered. The station commander was called. The situation was explained. After a long pause, approval was given. There was no other choice. Dr. Day prepared, slow and careful. He did not rush. He spoke softly, even though Hana could not hear him clearly. "We will help you," he said. "Just hold on." The stars outside the station continued their calm dance. Inside the medical wing, a line had been crossed. Humanity had stepped forward, not with force or pride, but with steady hands and a will to understand. And this was only the beginning. The medical wing stayed quiet after the decision was made. Lights dimmed slightly to reduce stress. Machines adjusted their tone to softer sounds. Hana lay on the bed, her body still, but her signs showed strain. The blockage inside her had not moved. Pressure continued to build. Dr. Day stood at the side of the bed and watched the numbers with care. He did not rush. He believed that speed without thought caused mistakes. He asked for fresh readings every few minutes and compared them by hand, not only by machine. Other medics watched him closely. Some crossed their arms. Some whispered to each other. They had trained for many years and trusted advanced systems. The human doctor used fewer tools, simpler tools. It made them uneasy. Myra worked beside him, adjusting a small projector that showed Hana's inner flow in simple lines. "The crystal mass is stable," she said, "but it is pressing harder." Jisoo checked Hana's breathing and skin tone. "Pain response is rising," she said softly. Dr. Day nodded. "We need to prepare the tissue first," he said. "If we try to remove it cold, it will tear." A senior medic raised a hand. "Our systems can dissolve it with focused energy." Dr. Day shook his head. "Too much energy will damage the area. This part of her body is sensitive. We must respect that." He explained his idea in clear words. Human medicine often worked by helping the body do what it was meant to do, not by forcing it, but by guiding it. The crystal had formed because Hana's body was under stress and out of balance. If the balance could be restored, even briefly, the blockage could soften. How? Another medic asked. "With warmth, pressure control, and time," Dr. Day said. They began slowly. Jisoo adjusted the bed to change gravity around Hana's lower body. Mira tuned a heat field to a level that was safe and gentle. Dr. Day monitored everything. Hands steady, eyes focused. Minutes passed. Hannah stirred. Her breathing eased slightly. The sharp lines on the display began to blur. "It's responding," Mira said. The room grew more alert. Doubt turned into careful hope. Dr. Day continued. He used a small, flexible instrument designed for human surgery, but adapted with Myra's help. It was simple and clean. No sharp edges. No force. "This tool listens," he said quietly. "It responds to resistance." The senior medics watched in silence as he guided the instrument with slow movements. He did not push. He waited. When the tissue relaxed, he moved a little more. Hannah's body reacted, then calmed. The crystal mass softened, just as he predicted. It did not break. It changed. "There," Dr. Day said. Now, with careful motion, he guided the mass away from the narrow channel. Mira adjusted the field to keep it soft. Jisoo watched Hannah's signs closely, ready to act. For a long moment, nothing happened. Then the pressure reading dropped. A soft sound came from one of the machines, low and steady. Hannah's breathing slowed. Her hands relaxed. The blockage moved. The room released a breath it did not know it was holding. Dr. Day did not stop. He knew the danger was not over. He guided the mass into a safe containment field where it could dissolve without harm. The process took time. He stayed focused through every second. Finally, the channel was clear. Hannah's signs stabilized. Silence filled the room again, but it was a different kind of silence now. It was full of relief. "She's stable," Jisoo said. Mira smiled, tired but proud. The senior medics stepped closer to the display. They studied the results, checking for damage. There was none. One of them spoke at last. "Your method was simple." Dr. Day nodded. "Simple does not mean careless." He cleaned his hands and stepped back. "Now we monitor. Her body will finish the work." Hours passed. Hannah remained asleep, her body healing. The crystal residue dissolved fully. Flow returned to normal. Word spread through the station. A human medic had solved a problem that advanced systems could not. Some spoke with surprise, some with respect. Dr. Day sat in a quiet corner of the wing, reviewing notes. Myra joined him. "They didn't believe you at first," she said. He gave a small smile. "That's fine. We didn't come here to be believed. We came to help." Later, Hannah opened her eyes. Jisoo noticed first and called the others. Hannah looked around slowly, confused but calm. The pain was gone. In its place was a deep tiredness. Dr. Day stepped forward. "You're safe," he said gently. Hannah studied his face. She did not know his species well, but she felt something important. Care, respect. "You stayed," she said, her voice weak. "Yes," he replied. "We stayed." Her eyes closed again, this time in peace. Outside the medical wing, the station returned to its normal rhythm. But something had changed. Humanity was no longer just new. It had proven something quiet and strong, and the story was not finished. Hannah slept for a long time. The lights above her stayed low and warm. The machines around her showed steady lines. Each slow rise and fall meant her body was finding balance again. Dr. Day watched from a short distance, giving her space. He believed healing worked best when it was not crowded. Other medics came and went. They checked the data again and again. They spoke less now. The numbers were clear. Hannah was no longer in danger. Still, recovery was not simple. Hannah's species had strong bodies, but they reacted deeply to shock. When she finally woke again, she felt weak and strange, as if her body was not fully hers yet. Her eyes opened slowly. The room felt larger than before. Jisoo was nearby and noticed at once. You are awake, she said gently. Hana tried to move and stopped. I feel empty, she said. And tired. That is normal, Jisoo replied. Your body worked very hard. Dr. Day stepped closer, but did not stand over her. He kept his voice calm and low. The blockage is gone, he said. Your system is clear. Hana looked at him closely. She studied his face and posture. Humans were not like the other species, she knew. They carried tension and softness at the same time. You touched a private part of my body, she said, not with anger, but with honesty. Dr. Day nodded. Yes, only to save your life. With respect. She was silent for a moment. In her culture, such actions carried deep meaning. Trust was not given easily. I felt no harm, she said at last. Only relief. That answer eased something in the room. As hours passed, Hana grew stronger. She drank clear fluids made to match her biology. She sat up with support. The pain did not return. The pressure was gone. Outside the medical wing, news spread wider. Delegates from other species requested reports. Some wanted details. Some wanted proof. A few questioned whether the result was luck. Formal review was called. Dr. Day stood before a mixed council in a small chamber. Screens showed data from the procedure. Mira stood beside him, ready to explain the technical parts. Jisoo sat behind them, quiet but alert. One council member spoke. Your method used minimal technology. Why? Dr. Day answered simply. Because the body is not a machine. It is a system that wants to heal. Another member asked, would this work on others of her species? With study and care, he said. Yes, there was a pause. Then a question that carried weight. Why did you take the risk? Dr. Day did not answer at once. He looked at the screen showing Hannah's stable signs. Because doing nothing would have killed her, he said. And because humans believe that saving one life matters. The council fell silent. Hannah watched the review through a private feed. She listened to the words spoken about her body and her pain. She did not feel reduced by it. Instead, she felt seen. Later, she asked to speak. When she entered the chamber, the council stood in respect. She moved slowly, but with dignity. I am alive because of human medicine, she said. Not because it was powerful, but because it was careful. She turned her gaze to Dr. Day. He did not treat me as an object. He treated me as a person. That statement carried more force than any data. The council agreed to record the procedure as a new shared medical protocol. Human methods would be included in future training, not as a replacement, but as an equal. After the meeting, Dr. Day returned to the medical wing. The stress he had carried began to fade. Mira joined him, holding 2 cups of warm drink. You did it, she said. We did it, he replied. That evening, Hannah asked to walk. Jisoo helped her move through a quiet corridor. The station lights reflected softly on the walls. Through a wide window, the twin stars shone. I thought I would die here, Hannah said. You didn't, Jisoo answered. Because humans stayed, Hannah said. They stopped by the window. Hannah placed a hand on the glass. My people fear being touched by others, she said. We believe it brings harm. And now? Jisoo asked. Now I will tell them that touch can also heal, Hannah said. Days passed. Hannah's strength returned fully. She resumed her duties as envoy, though at a slower pace. Wherever she went, others watched her with new interest. She carried proof of something important. Humanity was not the strongest species, but it listened. Dr. Day prepared to leave the station for his next assignment. Before he left, Hannah came to see him. My people owe you, she said. Dr. Day shook his head. No debt, only understanding. She nodded. Then that is what we will give. As his ship undocked, the station remained behind, calm and bright. The story of what happened there began to travel beyond its walls, carried by data, by words, and by trust. And humanity's quiet reputation continued to grow. Life on the station slowly changed after Hannah returned to her duties. At first, the change was quiet. It showed in small things. Medics asked more questions before acting. Engineers shared tools across species. Meetings lasted longer, but voices were calmer. Hannah noticed everything. She walked through the halls each day, her steps steady now. Her body felt whole again. The pain was a memory, not a threat. Still, she remembered the fear clearly. She remembered lying still while strangers worked to save her life. She also remembered the human doctor's hands. Careful, patient, respectful. As an envoy, Hannah's duty was to observe and report. She began sending messages to her home council. She described the station, the humans, and the medical method that had saved her. She used simple words, so there would be no confusion. Some answers returned with doubt. Humans are too direct. One message said, "They take risks," said another. Hannah replied with honesty. "Yes, but they also take responsibility." Meanwhile, the Station Medical Council began its work. They wanted to test the human method under controlled conditions, not on living patients, but through models and simulations. Mira led the technical side, adapting human tools to other bodies. She worked long hours, her eyes tired but bright. Dr. Day joined when he could. He was scheduled to leave, but the commander asked him to stay longer. He agreed, knowing the work was not finished. During one session, a medic from another species spoke. "Your methods rely on touch and judgment. That cannot be measured," Dr. Day answered. "It can be trained." They practiced together, slowly, carefully. The results surprised many. Simple adjustments reduced stress on simulated patients. Damage rates dropped. Trust grew. One day, an emergency alarm sounded. A cargo worker from a distant species had collapsed near the docks. His body reacted badly to station air. His breathing system was swelling shut. Advanced machines tried to stabilize him, but his condition worsened. The room filled with tension. Someone said quietly, "Call the human." Dr. Day arrived and assessed the situation in moments. "Too much intervention," he said. "His body is fighting everything." The medics hesitated, then stepped back. Dr. Day simplified the process. Reduced pressure. Allowed the body to adjust. Used hands-on guidance instead of full automation. The worker survived. The room did not erupt in celebration. Instead, there was a deep, shared understanding. Something important was happening. Hannah watched from the doorway. She felt pride, but not ownership. This was bigger than her case. Later that cycle, a formal gathering was held. Representatives from many species attended. Humans were asked to speak about their medical philosophy. Dr. Day stood before them again. This time, his voice carried less strain. "Humans learned medicine because we break easily," he said. "Our bodies fail often. So we learn to listen to pain, not ignore it." The room was silent. "We do not see the body as perfect," he continued. "We see it as strong because it tries to survive." Hannah stood and added her voice. "They treated my most private injury with dignity," she said. "That matters." Her words spread beyond the station. Other outposts requested human medics. Training exchanges were planned. Simple human tools began to appear in alien medical kits. Not everyone agreed. A small group argued that humans would bring weakness, that their methods relied too much on emotion. That trust had no place in science. Then another report arrived. A mining station far away faced a medical crisis with no advanced systems left. A single human medic had saved dozens using only basic tools and knowledge. The argument weakened. On the station, Hannah prepared for departure. Her mission was complete. Before leaving, she visited the medical wing one last time. Jisoo walked with her. "You will be remembered here," Jisoo said. Hana shook her head. "I do not want to be remembered as a patient," she said. "I want to be remembered as proof." They stopped outside a window. Ships moved slowly beyond the glass. Dr. Day joined them. He carried a small case, ready to leave as well. "My people will change because of this," Hana said to him. "So will mine," he replied. She bowed in her way, a sign of deep respect. "If our paths cross again," she said, "I will welcome it." He returned the gesture, simple and human. As Hana's ship departed, the station felt quieter. But the silence was not empty. It was full of new ideas, new respect. Humanity had not claimed victory. It had earned trust, and that trust continued to spread through the stars. Time passed after Hana left the station, but her story did not fade. It moved outward, carried by reports, recordings, and quiet conversations between medics. The idea that humans healed through patience and understanding spread faster than any ship. Dr. Day returned to human space for a short time. He did not seek praise. He taught students, worked in small clinics, and shared what he had learned. He spoke often about listening before acting. Some students did not understand at first. Later, they did. Back on the station, changes became permanent. Medical rooms were redesigned to allow more space for hands-on work. Training programs included human methods alongside older systems. Mistakes decreased. Survival rates increased. Then came the test no one expected. A deep space relay sent a distress signal from a border region far from safe routes. A multi-species transport had been damaged by radiation storms. Power was failing. Life support was unstable. Many passengers were injured, including species with very different needs. The nearest help was the station. A response team was formed at once. Ships launched with supplies and medics from many worlds. Among them was a human crew, including Dr. Day. When they arrived, the transport was dark and silent. Inside, the air was thin and uneven. Panic had taken hold. Dr. Day moved through the chaos with calm steps. He spoke slowly. He made eye contact. He placed hands where they were needed. Advanced systems could not function well in the damaged environment. Power was too low. Automated tools failed one by one. Human methods remained. Medics worked together without arguing over rank or species. They shared simple tools. They adjusted treatments by watching the body, not the screen. One patient suffered from a blockage similar to Hannah's, caused by stress and radiation. The signs were clear to Dr. Day. He remembered Hana. He guided another medic through the process, step by step. No force, no rush, respect. The patient lived. Hours later, the transport stabilized. Many lives were saved. When the teams returned, the event was recorded across known space. It was no longer a single story about one envoy. It was a pattern. Humans were not the strongest. They were not the oldest. But they adapted. Hana watched the reports from her home world. She stood before her council, stronger than before. "This is what I tried to tell you," she said. "Humans do not heal because they are superior. They heal because they care." Her people listened. Agreements were signed. Exchange programs began. Human medics were welcomed on worlds that once kept outsiders away. Dr. Day received a message from Hana. It was simple. "You saved more than my life." He did not reply at once. When he did, his message was short. "You helped us be seen." Years later, the station became a center for shared medical learning. At its entrance stood a small symbol, not large or proud. It showed two hands, different in shape, working together. No names were carved beneath it. Inside, students from many species trained side by side. They learned machines, data, and advanced systems. They also learned when to set those things aside. Dr. Day walked through the halls one last time before retirement. He was older now. His steps were slower, but his eyes were still steady. A young medic stopped him. "Why do humans keep risking themselves?" The student asked. Dr. Day thought for a moment. "Because we know what it feels like to be helpless," he said. "And we do not want anyone to face that alone." Far away, Hannah stood beneath her own sky. She felt the steady rhythm of her body, healthy and free. She thought of the station, the human doctor, and the moment pain turned into relief. Stars did not care about species, but those who lived among them did. Humanity's place was not earned through fear or power. It was earned through healing, and that truth would endure.